Hello, welcome to my channel. Today there will be a new interesting episode that we will summarize the content. Please wait and watch. I look forward to your support. Give me a channel Myron and Myron who are on a surprise cruise. Myron is excited about the idea of a surprise cruise for their family, but Myron is concerned about the lack of excitement and the potential for spoilers. They discuss the Pacific Princess Leia, a cruise for fans of sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, anime, and video games. The nerds are excited about the new activities, such as pickleball with Doctor Who, the nerd balls, and the new Star Wars socks. However, Myron is concerned about the nerds' love for outcast culture and the lack of respect for their culture. Ngoinoi 1 introduces the nerds to the Avatar volleyball tournament, the Canberries, and Taika Waititi's Thor movies. He also mentions Bruno Ganz, who is known for his role as Darius d'Avignon in the $300 million streaming show Murder He Swords. Ngoinoi 3 introduces the king and queen of the nerd prom, comic, and Kamiko book guy who brings the rarest treasure in all of geekdom, a radioactive man action figure accidentally manufactured with Wolverine claws. The nerds are disappointed that only 2 of the defective toys were made before the mistake was caught, but they are excited to celebrate their anniversary. The nerd book guy is also impressed by Myron's comic book, which he plans to send to Man U Suck Publishing. The text is a conversation between 2 characters, Lisa and Bart Simpson, who are on a cruise ship. Lisa is upset about the baby dress-up cruise and the lack of punny names. She's also upset about the lack of food for her writing, directing, acting, and smirking activities. She is also concerned about the radioactive ex-gentleman, a notorious jackass who has been involved in a murder case. Bart is taken to jail by the Simpsons, who are worried about his future. They are told that he will be taken ashore and locked in a full adult prison with all the amenities provided by the notorious prison gang. Lisa is scared and insists that she did not kill the doll, but she is willing to own up to her past lies. Lisa is trying to convince Bart to believe her, but she cannot do it alone. She asks for help from her brother, who is unable to multitask due to a medical condition. She promises to help her exonerate Bart, as she has a medical condition that requires multitasking. The text highlights the tension between the characters and the importance of understanding the motives behind their actions. The characters are also reminded of the importance of being multitasking and avoiding confrontations that may lead to further complications. The text is a conversation between 2 people who are on a ship and are interrogated by a group of passengers. One passenger, a fan of comic book guy, is accused of destroying a doll that belonged to him. The other passenger, a fan of the Tigerverse, is also accused of having a motive for the incident. The conversation then shifts to the protagonist's anger towards comic book guy, who has led an online troll army demanding his firing and replacement. The protagonist expresses her desire to return the doll to her husband, Bart, who has been involved in a tragic online petition against her. She admits that she would lie about it, but she is not. The conversation then turns to the protagonist's love for her husband and the doll, which she believes was the cause of the doll's decapitation. The protagonist reveals that she was wearing night vision goggles from her upcoming film, The Night Vision Goggler, when the night went dark. She tells the protagonist that the doll murderer is 9 out of 10, and she plans to pass out now. The conversation ends with the protagonist expressing her frustration with the situation and the consequences of her actions. In this text, the protagonist, Ngoinoi, is investigating the murder of comic book guy's action figure. He has a theory that the murderer was himself, and he has written to Lloyd's of London about it. Lloyd responds that the doll was appraised and insured for 935,000 British pounds, so he killed the plastic action man himself for insurance money. However, he knew that they were on to him and took flight in the dead of night. Taika Waititi, the master sleuth and star of the upcoming reboot, Kiwi's Big Adventure, reveals that the crime has been exposed. He also shares his own theory about the crime, which involves the fact that there were only 2 irregular radioactive man dolls made in the world. Ngoinoi suggests that the owner of the other doll broke their action figure in a fit of rage and went on a cruise specifically to swap out their broken figure for comic book guy's intact one. They discovered that the second doll was sold in Wellington, New Zealand, where they spell color with a U. Taika Waititi licks the goo covered in the shield, which he believes is vegete, his favorite food. He also mentions that the scratch marks on Bart Simpson's face may have come from the tiny claws on the doll he broke. Ngoi Noi Tu explains that they cannot tear their cabin apart without a warrant, as they are in international waters. They find Comic Book Guy's original doll unbroken in Lake Springfield, and they try to find him. Ngoi Noi 1 sets up a surveillance device to mock the suspect's methods of interrogation. He hates Comic Book Guy and is widely reviled, like the character who played Kramer. He hides in shame and metal objects, surrounded only by shame and metal things. Ngoi Noi 5 thanks Lisa for not losing faith in him and wishes back his sweet Comic Book Guy. He learns a critical lesson via hologram and is grateful for the help they have received. Thank you for watching the video. Hope to see you again in the next videos. If you find it interesting, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel and share. Thanks. See you in the next video.